Hi, I'm Wal Galbraith. I'm a part of the Ray White South Coast Group, and this is your South Coast Snapshot for week 18, 2023. The snapshot's designed to give you a bite-sized breakdown of the real estate market overall, including local, regional and city-based information across Australia. All information is sourced from the AFR, leading economist on Twitter, and the Sydney Morning Herald. All information is relevant to property owners, buyers or both. There is no escaping the glaring fact that the RBA's official cash rate of 3.6% is now well below that of comparable banks such as the United States, 4.75%, Canada, 4.5%, and the UK, 4.25%, and New Zealand, which on Wednesday lifted its cash rate by a further 0.5 percentage point to 5.25%. The record-breaking boom in mortgage refinancing is expected to gain even more momentum in the months ahead as a $141 billion wave of fixed-rate home loans expire, forcing banks to compete aggressively for customers. An index from property online exchange PEXA last week showed the number of loans being refinanced with 22.8% higher than the same week last year, and second only to a record level from December, and experts say refinancing activity will hit new highs in the coming months. PEXA chief economist Julie Toth said refinancing was likely to climb even higher over the next 6 months because of the sheer number of expiring fixed rate loans, which were written when interest rates hit record lows during late 2020 and 2021. After separate Australian Bureau of Statistics figures last week also showed the value of mortgages refinanced hit a record high of $19.9 billion. In February, Canstar Group executive Steve Mickenbecker said, "More records in this area would absolutely be broken." The RBA has previously estimated about 880,000 loans on fixed rates will expire this year, and the peak in this wave is expected around the second half of this year. Morgan Stanley analysts have said the big four banks have $141 billion in fixed rate loans due to mature in the 6 months to September. The housing downturn is over for Sydney and Melbourne, according to the key property data analysts, who have called the bottom of the market, saying that the record return of migrants would bolster prices. While some housing economists said prices might still have further to fall if interest rates continued to rise, even those who aren't yet calling a bottom said the faster than expected return of immigration after the pandemic would underpin the housing market. Immigration is going to be stronger than developers anticipated some 12 to 24 months prior, and we saw in the 2000s how unexpected migration can be a fillip to prices, said Challenger chief economist Jonathan Kearns, a former head of the financial stability at the Reserve Bank. CoreLogic, SQM Research, PropTrack and RBC Capital Markets have all declared house prices had bottomed out in the two biggest housing markets amid a growing number of housing indicators showing a market upturn. As more data flows have come through across housing finance, consumer sentiment, vendor discounting and sales volumes, it seems the national housing market downswing may have bottomed out in early March, said CoreLogic head of research Eliza Owen. A record return in overseas migration was unexpected, and it had left housing demand far outstripping supply, which has contributed to the start of a more sustained upswing in value. CoreLogic's daily index also indicates Sydney seems to have bottomed out in the first week of February and have since increased around 2%, whilst Melbourne bottomed out early March and has picked up 0.7%. This means that the national home values have dropped by 9.4% from peak to trough, which is the largest housing market downswing on record, according to CoreLogic. However, this is significantly lower than many economists' average forecast of a 15% decline. More than 40% of the property industry rate housing supply and affordability as the most critical issue for both federal government to tackle, a jump of 10 percentage points on the last survey. A similar proportion also rank it as the topmost issue for state governments. A forecast shortfall in homes available has risen significantly to 106,300 by 2027, up from 62,000 previously, according to a National Housing Finance and Investment Corporation report this month. The supply squeeze, coupled with a growing population, further boosted by migration, has sent rents soaring up by 36% in some areas. More investors are cashing out of the Sydney property market as rising mortgage rates and household costs make it harder for them to stay afloat. Investment properties made up 35.4% of Sydney's homes listed for sale last month, up from the 10-year average of 27%, CoreLogic figures show. The City of Sydney had the largest share of investment properties listed for sale in March, at 59.7% of properties, up from a 10-year average of 38.6%, the largest increase of any region. Looking to make the best use of the current marketplace or considering your financial options? If you're either expanding your property portfolio, refinancing or looking to sell your current property, we'd love to help. I'm Wal Galbraith with the Ray White South Coast Group, and this was your South Coast Snapshot for week 18, 2023. We'll see you next week. Bye.